who maintain the highest level of professional integrity and 100% customer satisfaction. When you're looking for goods and services, call a member of the Ocala Business Leaders, and we are confident you will be pleased with the results. If you're interested in becoming a member of the Ocala Business Leaders, join us at the Ocala Municipal Golf Course, 3130 East Silver Springs Boulevard, any Wednesday at 6:30 a.m. and enjoy a breakfast on us. For more information, check ocalabusinessleaders.com.
Now you've done it. Have you lost your mind? He's back. And you're listening again. A legend in his own mind. Don't believe me? Just ask him. Here's Tom Schmitz live on WOCA. The Source.
Welcome back to Ocala Talk on a Thursday. Galen Enoff from Life South joins us as he does every day. Brought to you by the good folks at Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center, located at 2700 Southwest 34th Street. They offer skilled nursing, physical, occupational, and speech therapy. If you have any questions how they're handling the COVID-19 pandemic, give Palm Garden a call, 352-854-6262. Of course, we'd like to thank family-owned and operated Penn Flooring, serving Marion County for over 30-plus years. They owe every bit of their success to their unrivaled customer service. They have experience in both commercial and residential flooring. Go see their amazing showroom at 1201 Southwest 17th Street or give them a call at 352-351-3420. And, of course, we'd like to thank JustShip.net. They flipped the script on shipping. Before, you had to take your item, you had to box it up, you had to make sure it was wrapped snugly and safely so it didn't break. Get it to the post office, the UPS store, wait in line there just to get it shipped out. Well, you don't have to do that anymore. You can go to JustShip.net, make an appointment. They'll come out for a small pickup fee plus postage. They will take your item. They'll box it up. They'll package it up. They'll go stand in line at the post office or UPS store, saving you time and money. And as we know, time is money. So they save you money on top of money. JustShip.net. We want to thank all of them for allowing us to have Galen on the radio with us every day. Galen, really, really thanks to those three sponsors for having you fill in time with me and tell me why I'm wrong most of the time.
Yeah, appreciate it. Especially Palm Garden and Penn Flooring. They've been there for so long. And it makes it easier for the Martones to allow me to come out here and flatten my gums. Let
me ask you this. Are you, during your downtime, are you doing any kind of are you friends with longtime Chicago-based football reporter Hub Arkush? Are you friends with him? You know him personally?
No, I don't know him. No, I've read the name. I'm going to leave that.
Because
I don't know him.
Because I was thinking when I read what he said, he did an appearance. He's apologizing now. He went on the 670 The Score in Chicago, and he said he told everybody what his decision was for voting for MVP. He said he was not going to vote for Aaron Rodgers. Well, now he says that was a mistake discussing it. But here's actually what he said on the radio show, and this is what made me think you might know this guy personally. Here's why he said he's not voting for Aaron Rodgers for MVP. I don't think you can be the biggest jerk in the league, punish your team and your organization by taking way more money than you should. You punish your fan base the way he did and be the most valuable. Has he been the most valuable on the field? Yeah, you could make that argument, but I don't think he is clearly that much more valuable than Jonathan Taylor or Cooper Kupp or maybe even Tom Brady. So from where I sit, the rest of it is why he's not going to be my choice. Do I think he's going to win it? Probably. A lot of voters don't approach it the way I do, but others do who I've spoken to. But one of the ways we get to keep being voters is we're not allowed to say who we're voting for until after the award has been announced. I'm probably pushing the envelope by saying who I'm voting for, but we're not really supposed to reveal our votes. But I'm not voting for him. I just can't vote for somebody I think is the biggest jerk in the league. You wrote that. Come on, tell me. You wrote that.
Yeah, I mean, do I agree with everything he said? Sure. But I would like to think I'm not so petty that I would hold up, and if I really felt that he was the MVP, I wouldn't give it to him because of my personal dislike.
Well, Arcus went on to say there's no guidelines for how we vote. We're told to pick the guy who we think is most valuable to his team, and I don't think it says anywhere strictly on the field. Although I do think he hurts his team on the field by the way he acts off the field. That way they're going to be the number one seed anyway. But what is the difference? What if the difference had come down to the Chief games where he lied about being vaccinated and then they end up getting beat?
Oh, sure. Well, and I think you could easily vote for Cooper Kupp this year, and nobody would have said a word, especially because he is from Chicago and they hate Green Bay and all that rivalry. I just think he handled it wrong. So, you know what I mean? I just think he handled it wrong, and he'll regret it. And he's getting a lot of flack, and
probably going to get his vote taken from him.
Well, they have to understand, man. If you're gonna have the guts to have an opinion, then have the guts to stand by it. And to Rodgers' credit, he's taken a ton of grief for this because he was a media darling 2 months ago. Now he's being hated by the same media, but at least he's standing by his take, and if nothing more, he's doubling down on it. And so I respect that. But again, this is there's always going to be some blowback when you open up your mouth.
Well,
you and I know well.
Hub Arkush went on Twitter yesterday. Go, look, I understand people are upset. I told people what my vote was, but I just think Roberts carried himself in a way. Listen to me, Roberts. I think that Rodgers carried himself in a way that was inappropriate. I think he's a bad guy, and I don't think a bad guy can be the most valuable player at the same time.
Well,
so he's not backing away from why he did it.
Let's
he's
see
just
if he
saying
stands by that.
He's not backing away from why he did it. He's just saying I probably shouldn't have made it known why I voted that way until after it was announced. I shouldn't have said it before MVP was announced. He's not backing away from the statements he made. What he's doing is he's trying to save his vote now because he violated the structure of how it works, and he told what his vote was before he should have. That's what he's backpedaling, trying to keep his vote. He's not backpedaling from what he said about Rodgers.
Well, that's his problem. You know, you can't give these people an inch because then they'll even you know you're wrong on this. Can't do that. You have to be completely unapologetic.
And everything he said is 100% accurate in my mind. Everything.
Yeah, sure. But and I could easily defend this by look, it's Aaron Rodgers' job to go play football. It's not his job to make as much money as he can because we talked about for the last half hour what his body's going through. And to him, maybe that's the cost.
Yeah, and
I don't know.
You know, I do. The only thing that I get upset with people about Aaron Rodgers is when they said he should have been like Brady and took less money so he could have got more people around him. Tom Brady made that decision to take less money because he wanted to win with more people around him. I'm with you. In a sport where on the next snap you could be a quadriplegic or dead, get all the money you can get while you can get it.
That's just it. And that's his right. Both of those guys made completely different decisions.
The way he lied about the vaccination and everything, though, and cost he had to sit out 10 days and, wasn't able to play and all. Now, that's a whole different story than going and doing a money grab. That's a whole different story.
Sure. And I really wonder how many players are actually vaccinated.
I bet a lot more have fake vaccination cards than anybody wants to know.
Sure.
You're gonna walk into your local drugstore. You're a star-studded wide receiver or something. The little 19-year-old girl behind the counter. You smile at her. You get a little flirtatious with her, and you say, "Hey, can you just type me up one of those things? Here's some signed ball and a picture. We'll take a picture together and everything." Or a 19-year-old guy that's working behind the counter at CVS or something, and they have access to type those cards up. I'm telling you what. At an 18, 19-year-old, when I was starstruck with William Andrews from the Falcons, I might have done something like that for him.
Why wouldn't you? Who's getting hurt by it? You know what I mean? The grand scheme of things.
So.
I mean,
but
and what they should have done is said, hey, you're going to get a vaccine with the team.
Right.
Done.
But when I read this story, I thought, well, Galen is moonlighting as a writer for this guy.
It's pretty poor. It's pretty well done.
Because
again, we'll see how quickly he backs up. He's getting pressure from his newspaper now and the readers and everything. Oh, come on.
So I've gotten 3 texts back to back right now. All of it goes, if I was 18 or 19 at a drugstore, I'd do the same thing.
Of course you would.
Of course you would.
Of course you would.
Everybody would. Oh, one guy said, hey, remember the head injuries that Sean Taylor dealt with? It's a very good point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very good point. Very good point.
Look at him.
Yeah, very good point.
Like if let's just say Trevor Lawrence walks into the CVS in Jacksonville Beaches, right? Yes, sir, Trevor. Whatever you need, Mr. Lawrence.
How about
Here,
this?
Would you like this whole row of drugs?
How about
I
this?
don't have the key, but I will get them for you. I mean, come on.
How about if the guy walked in? How about if this guy walks in and he walks in with the entire Jacksonville Jaguar team and goes, "Hey, I need to get all my friends here vaccination cards." Who's telling Tim Tebow no in Jacksonville?
Nobody.
Nobody.
And you would say, well, first of all, it's Tim Tebow, so therefore there can't be anything nefarious about it because he's the greatest human being on the planet.
Yeah. Who's telling
Right? Come on.
what person is telling Tim Tebow no in Jacksonville?
The guy
Not a
could be
soul.
wearing a Georgia Bulldog mascot outfit, and he would still do it.
Yeah. Well, and
You know
let's
what I
take
mean?
it a little farther. I'm sorry, not Jacksonville. Jacksonville and St. Augustine.
Well,
And
he could do it
Gainesville.
in
And Gainesville.
Where could he not? Come on,
Denver.
he's Tim Tebow.
Denver would do it for him.
Right. Yes. And so, when I look at some of this stuff, I'm like, come on. And again, people who judge athletes, I really sometimes question them because they don't judge the same actor. Let's just say a movie said, "Oh, okay, you can't star in this film without a vaccination card." Tom Cruise walks into your CVS.
Tom Cruise is getting a vaccination card.
Or let's make it personal. Let's make it John Travolta walks into the Publix where I saw him at, right there near his house. What do you need, Mr. Travolta? I'll open up the store for you so you can come in and I'll just hand you this card. Or, you know what? You don't even need to come in. I'll meet you at your car.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'll give it to your
Now
third party.
that Publix has been rebuilt and there's a drive-through pharmacy, he could probably just drive up to the pharmacy window and get it.
Come on. I mean, and by the way, you wouldn't even have to be as big a star as John Travolta. It could be somebody in some rando movie,
Right.
that you're a fan of. Come on. I mean, or let's take it. Let's say the teacher needed it, and it was one of your former teachers. You would do it. What are we talking about?
One of the most loved teachers in Marion County, Dave Falcone. He's got students that would give him a vaccination card if he wanted
I
one.
don't know about that. Yeah, I think you're pushing it. I guarantee you. A former student would give my mom one. Now, I don't think my mom would do that.
But a student would give him one.
By the way, I don't think Tim Tebow would do that.
No, he would not.
But there would definitely be on the other side. Yes, ma'am, or yes, sir, Mr. Tebow.
Certainly.
What are we talking about? What are we talking about?
Hey, Demaryius Thomas passed away recently. Denver
sure did.
Broncos wide receiver. And I finally got to watch the video of what Denver did to honor him on their opening offensive play, where they only sent 10 men out on the field and left the X empty.
Yeah, I saw that.
And they took a delay of game because they weren't going to play with only 10 guys. So they took a delay of game penalty. And then the Detroit Lions declined the penalty like a boss. That was really, really good. Not only did they honor him by leaving his spot blank, but then the other team refused to take the penalty that they had incurred by doing that. That's really, really a good thing. That's where the NFL makes me say, they got that one right.
Well, but let's be clear. NFL had nothing to do with it.
Nothing. And 2 NFL teams got that right.
There's 2 men, right? The coaching staff, the head coach.
Yeah, because I'm sure that was cleared with the head coaches before the game started, that we're going to do this, and will y'all decline the penalty? Sure, we will. I'm sure that happened. They won't admit that happened, but I'm sure that happened.
And you see this all the time on a smaller level. I was at a high school game where the other coach got a technical foul. It's a 2-point game, and they're giving them 2 technical fouls. And the other coach is like, I can't believe he got a technical foul. So he pulls the kid aside and he goes, missed both of them.
Well,
right?
you see it all the time. The kid
right,
with autism,
right.
autism that came out for the football team, that they tell the other team, hey, we're going to hand him the football and he's going to score a touchdown. And they let him score a touchdown in a game that, doesn't mean anything and the score's out of hand. So they let the kid enjoy the crowd cheering and everything. You see it all the time at lower levels. But when money's on the line and playoffs are on the line and all, it was refreshing to see it at that level too.
Yeah, all of those. But and so that's what sports can do for you, right? You can do the right thing. but the NFL tends to get in the NFL zone. I think we can all agree with that.
Well, the teachers union in Chicago has voted not to go back to
boy.
class. There are now other
boy.
teachers unions across the country that are thinking about it. And now, are you ready for this? The World Health Organization has come out because there have been two young pregnant women in Israel that have tested positive. So they've come out with a new virus. Are you ready for this name?
Yeah, I saw it.
Flu-rona, because they tested positive for the flu and the coronavirus at the same time. So they now have a new term, flu-rona. I mean,
Come
are
on,
they just
you couldn't make that up.
No. And by the way, how do you? I mean, I guess the viruses are so different. If you get them in a petri dish, you can tell that they're one's one and one's the other. But you're not going to tell the difference by symptoms.
Also, my doctor, for example, he said, look, he goes, when I told him I tested positive for COVID, he goes, I said, I know you can't do anything about it. He said, well, I'm going to go ahead and get you on antibiotics just to make sure that, this virus doesn't create a secondary infection. And he goes, well, so I'm going to give you a Z-Pack. And he says, it does no harm. And I think that's part of what's going on because guess what? People? COVID has flu-like symptoms.
Flu-rona.
It's unbelievable.
Flu-rona. So now they've combined the flu and the Rona.
Oh,
I don't know. My wife just
Weird
almost
Al,
made a YouTube faux pas.
Weird Al is probably making a parody of this right now.
Oh, I promise you, Weird Al is working on
my.
Flu-rona, exactly. Instead of my Sharona, he's But if he's not and he hears this show, he's writing it now. I hadn't even thought about that.
He's been on the show
Flu-rona.
before. Yeah.
Flu-rona.
Well, remember he turned my Sharona into my Bologna.
I know.
So
I remember.
It's not a huge difference to go to my Sharona.
To my Flu-rona, exactly. But I mean, it's just once again, why does the World Health Organization have to come up with this name except to just try to scare people?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm gonna use something. Let so many people get it. They have a knack for making these kind of things happen. They love it.
By the way,
Absolutely love it.
By the way, I was watching the news this morning. I was watching the news feed this morning, and Channel 6 was talking about COVID outbreaks around the region and everything. And they go, Marion County seeing a large uptick in positive coronavirus cases of the Omicron variant, but hospitalizations stay exactly the same.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, my son he texted me this morning. He goes, Dad, nobody is at school, because that's what that happened. Let's let everybody get natural antibodies and immunity, and then we can deal with it.
Now that
That's
the
how
Omicron,
you get through a virus. You got to get through it.
Now the Omicron's being run rampant. Are y'all back testing for antibodies again or no?
No, the FDA came out and actually changed the whole standard for that, and we're trying to assess what that actually means. So we haven't turned it back on yet. I think we're all trying to keep up. The FDA doesn't even have a person in charge of it right now, and so they're kind of lagging behind. But as of right now, we're not, but we may turn it back on, and when they do, I'll let you guys know.
Yeah, it seems like every day there's something new that comes out with this pandemic because they realize they're losing folks. They're losing people even people on the Democratic side. I have friends of mine that are Democratic that they were part of the political machine that you don't get what's going on. You got to follow the science. That even now they're going, who the hell knows what the science is? Nobody knows. I can open. They're like I can open 6 different things and see 6 different people refer to the science with 6 different outcomes, and I go, yeah, that's a problem. And people all across the board, no matter what your political affiliation is or anything, people are starting to realize this now that there's no true one place where you can go get all the answers. and all the answers are all different depending on who you talk about and what their agenda is.
Well, but science wants you to question. It's called the scientific method. That's the part of it when everybody is saying this. I mean, like, no. Scientists want to be questioned. It's only a truth until it's proven
not Dr. Fauci. He doesn't want to be questioned.
Oh, goodness gracious. But that's Fauci.
I thought he was a scientist. He says he's a scientist.
So sick of that guy.
And you're right. The
I
scientific method says you got to make a theory. You got to do testing. You got to come to conclusions. The scientific method is a 6-step process that is all about questioning.
Right. But I bet you he's done more harm for doctors all over the world than any other single human being. Because my doctor, when he prescribes something, we talk about it, right? He goes, "What do you think?" And what are the side effects? Those kinds of things. We have conversations because that's what he wants, right? He wants me to be a part of this decision. Fauci just wants to become a dictator, Well, that and protect his money that he's getting from China. So.
Yeah, it's now the Sun in Britain has dubbed this morning their headline. The headline of the Sun in Britain this morning for Florida, it says Flurona, double trouble. Big headlines in the Sun newspaper in London.
Pretty good.
Flurona, double trouble.
But Australia is loving this because now they can double lock you down. Look, not only do you have to be in your house, but you have to be in your own room.
Yeah, not only that's what Australia's going to do now. You're not on house restriction anymore. Parents go to your room, kids go to your room. Nobody's allowed out of their rooms into the common areas of your own house now. That's where we're at. That's where Australia's going. I promise you, that's where they're going.
Well, the getting back to the school shutdown. I mean, this just tells you that the teachers and the facilitators and the administration in those areas don't give a damn about the student. They don't give a damn about the student. This is all about them.
And by the way, the mayor of Chicago says, no, teachers need to go to work. Even the president of the United States, Joe Biden, who is the leader in the scare tactics of coronavirus, even he said, no, it's safe to go to school. They shouldn't be closing schools. But the teachers union, I'm telling you, you get some of these teacher union in these union powerful states, they're not going to, the Chicago Teachers Union, they're not going to go back to work till they want to go back to work, and they're going to get paid, and they're going to have to do computers learning over the internet and everything, and the teachers in Chicago will dictate when they go back to work. It will not be the mayor, it will not be the school board, it will not be the president. The teachers of Chicago will dictate when they go back to work.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I mean, there's a real possibility that there are so many faculty out. I know they're already struggling to get some substitute teachers, but you could shut down because the faculty being sick. So that's a very real concern, but that's a little different from the union just saying, you know what, we're done.
And by the way, you know how many days they had been back to in-person learning when the teachers union decided to shut down?
None.
2 days.
None.
They'd been back 2 days.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
They decided to shut down. They voted Wednesday morning to shut down. They had been back Monday and Tuesday. And then they voted Tuesday night. They voted Tuesday night to shut down, so no schools opened Wednesday in Chicago. But it's not only Chicago. There are school systems all over the country that this is happening
in Georgia, there's 5 counties. Alabama, there's 1.
You're going to see. I promise you. Orange County and Alachua County are thinking about it.
Well,
promise you.
Alachua County would just assume that they send everybody to a transformation confirmation / communist.
University of Florida will close pretty soon. I promise you.
Well, it's already all masked. At FSU, it's all masked, and they said they're not going to stop in-site learning because there's so many kids that have to do their labs and stuff.
Right.
But there is going to be remote learning whenever possible. And let's be clear, college is completely different.
Completely different from high school.
My son's at FSU, and he says as long as he's 21 now, as long as they don't close down World of Beer, he's going to be fine.
That's it. Long as the late night library, library and Bullwinkle's doesn't close down, they're in good shape.
Yeah. And intramurals. He says as long as they don't impact intramurals, then we're fine.
Hey, Galen, where's the Bloodmobile today?
Hey, today we're at the Winn-Dixie on North 441, so check us out. But as always, we're right on the boulevard, 1607 East Silver Springs Boulevard. Check us out at lifesouth.org. One donation saves 3 lives, and we are in critical need of everything. So get out there, give the gift of life, donate blood.
Talk to you tomorrow.
Bye.
Broadcasting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
A court filing by prosecutors on Wednesday is ordering convicted Boston Marathon bomber Jahar Shanarev return a $1,400 COVID relief payment he received last summer, along with a small sum of money he has collected over the years. Victim Dr. Scott Weisberg.
It really does not change anything for me because what he took from me, I'm never going to be able to regain.
When you wash away all the propaganda and political posturing, January 6th was a dark day in America's history. As we all realize mob rule is never the answer, Americans must be able to talk through our problems, both foreign and domestic. It should be noted 57 individuals who played a role in storming the Capitol steps or breaching the Capitol itself are now running for elected office. That number should probably change, as in many states, candidate filing deadlines are still months away. USA Radio News.
You need an accurate thermometer to check for fever, a potential sign of flu or COVID. Be vigilant and contact your medical provider at the first sign of fever. Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer has been proven accurate in more than 100 clinical studies. Exergen Temporal Scanners are available at Walmart and other fine retailers. Learn more at Exergen.com. That's EXERGEN.com. Exergen is changing the way the world takes temperature.
I know you've been waiting a little bit longer than normal.
Jen's manicure spot needs an extra pair of hands.
Who's at the front desk right now?
Someone who's handy with everything from nail files to spreadsheet files.
You're just not coming in today? But we have that whole bachelorette party.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
As conservative voices are being...
It's time for Farm and Ranch headlines on the Southeast AgNet. I'm Tyron Spearman reporting. Peanut farmers get excited when they see new products being developed with their peanuts, and that's what happened recently as Reese's University was announced at the recent Rose Bowl parade. They call them Fighting Cuppies. They were competing in the Rose Bowl to get their hands on the iconic trophy. They're still showing up and bringing the spirit of excellence and greatness that is expected with a newly minted Reese's University. Reese's is a product of Hershey, and they buy lots of peanuts from Georgia, Florida, Alabama farmers. The name of that float was Chocolate Peanut Butter Success. That brings the proof that Reese's, wherever Reese's go, magic happens. The Reese's brand is bringing the enthusiasm for the college experience to Reese's fans with the launch of the Reese's University. The University initiative is focused on delighting and engaging consumers in a more immersive brand world. They promise to have many surprises to the die-hard Reese's fans this coming year, and all of this means that peanut farmers are going to have to plant more peanuts to grow more peanut butter, and it'll be used in Reese's peanut butter cups. They got a new one out called Rippled Potato Chips, and this is a little crunch with the iconic taste of chocolate and peanut butter. Good news for peanut farmers.
Hey, I'm rodeo clown J.J. Harrison. Now, if you've ever seen me in the arena, you know I like to have fun and take chances. But I also take safety very seriously, because rodeo clowning can be dangerous, but so can farming and ranching. Never assume location of depth of underground utilities or pipelines. Before you start work, always call 811 or visit clickbeforeyoudig.com. It only takes a minute, and it can save your life.
Always call 811 or visit clickbeforeyoudig.com before you start work. A message from the Pipeline Operators for Ag Safety campaign.
I'm Tyron Spearman for Southeast AgNet.
When it really counts, depend on the source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
We'll have a pleasant day with a blend of sun and clouds.